In the beginning, when we started working together, we used the Summit's business model as a way for you to get your creative jollies, let's say.
Totally, yeah.
And you did.
So there's two things that really, right? Part of it is the service that I'm offering, and then part of it is hiring the team to support me in the other areas that are very vital to delivering that service, but aren't the ones that are going to be energy rich for me. The clients that I take on, it's really important to me that I want to amplify their voices. Part of this whole process is being really attuned to where you're at now and how things can evolve on any of those points,
Right.
and allowing that evolution.
Not freezing ourselves. Hey there, superstar. I'm here with Leanne Marie Webster, who is one of my my absolute longest standing client. And we're talking about some of the lessons in growing business and entrepreneurship and how she grew her coaching, consulting, speaking business. And we're going to talk in particular about the concept of alignment and how important it was to bring all these different aspects of herself into greater alignment in her business. Let's talk about the word alignment, about the concept of alignment. What is that? What does that mean to you, and how did you implement that, or how did you become more aligned in your business?
Well, you taught me a lot about it. I think intuitively that we kind of feel when things are or aren't in alignment, and you're the person who gave me like the verbiage for that and helped me more intentionally tune into it. So for me, alignment means that all the things are like playing in the way they should. You know, it's kind of like you can think of it like a puzzle piece. You know, and the puzzle pieces click and they fit together well. And if you think about like the edges of the puzzle piece, right, when they have that straight line, if you're doing like a square, like things just like line up really well.
Yeah.
Versus we've all had those moments where we're doing something we probably don't really want to do, or because we think we should do it, or because our spouse, husband, parents, fill in the blank, think we should be doing that, and that feels just a little like not good.
Yeah. I call it like wearing ill-fitting clothes.
Yes.
That you can get away with it. It might even look good from the outside looking in.
Sure.
But it doesn't feel good, and so at the end of the day, you just want to get home and rip them off, right? Your tag is scratching your neck, or your shoes are squinching your feet, or right now, like your waist is a little too tight, you know, like you're not going to want to live that way.
Right.
But many of us, you, have tried to live doing work, working with clients, you know, any number of things that we do that are just a little bit off, like a couple clicks over. And so bringing it back into alignment, what are some areas of business that you brought back into alignment, do you think?
Gosh, one for sure is just looking at the work that I was doing, the literal work. You know, the summit work can be pretty cool, and there's a lot of aspects of it that aren't in my energy-rich spot.
Well, so can we take a pause for a moment?
For sure.
And just identify. So you all have heard me talk about wealth dynamics. That's one of the tests I use. Strengths Finders is another. These are personality tests that help us to identify how someone operates at their highest and best and most flow state. And so Leanne is a creator mechanic star. Now you can go find my video on wealth dynamics and it'll explain all these terms. I'm a star creator supporter. Okay. So she's a creator mechanic star. So that means your highest and best is when you're in that high level creation mode.
Yeah.
When you're creating something.
Yes.
And meanwhile, so in the beginning when we started working together, we used the Summit's business model as a way for you to get your creative jollies, let's say.
Totally. Yeah.
And you did. And now, over the course of many years, and this happens, as you become more and more aligned, things become clearer and clearer, and then we should transition, which we're going to talk about later, but we're not going to get into right now. That'll be a different video. So back to alignment, you brought your business into alignment with your personality, let's say, right?
Well, yeah, so, I mean, the summits are great for my creator because I get to create a new event each time.
Right.
And the mechanic in me created a process that we could replicate.
Yes.
And so those make a lot of sense. What doesn't make sense is me doing the project management side of it, right? And being the taskmaster. So I know that, and now I've hired people to take that piece over. That keeps me in the creative fun part, and then lets the client get served by someone who, by the way, loves doing the project
I know.
management stuff.
So this is more of a tempo type of person, like what we would call a trader, deal maker, accumulator type of person. Someone's who's pretty much your exact opposite.
Exactly.
It's someone who loves to be in the weeds and the details.
Yeah.
There are people that actually like this, right?
Not me.
And so you can be up in this place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that was a key part of it. So there's two things that really, right? Part of it is the service that I'm offering, and then part of it is hiring the team to support me in the other areas that are very vital to delivering that service, but aren't the ones that are going to be energy rich for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you brought your business model into greater alignment with your personality, what's energy rich for you. I noticed that you also created more alignment in the area of your self-care and your personal practices. You want to share a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've had massive transformations here too.
And we'll go deeper into this in the later videos, but just kind of an overview of what that meant to bring that into alignment.
For sure. Part of it is my meditation practice.
Right.
Which is a piece of my whole morning practice. Like I'm very regimented with how I start my days.
This is a mechanic in action.
So I have a whole process that I go through to set me off in the right way, or in what I feel is the best way.
Okay.
I've also even shifted like how I exercise.
Yeah.
Because I found that there were some exercises. I'm a runner. And I kind of wore that like a badge of honor for a long time. Yes. And I was running. I found at one point I was running because I felt like I was a runner and I should be running. Right. So
there's that identity piece. Like, okay, I should. And that's another, put a pin in that one too.
Yeah. So I've been much more intentional about my exercise and doing things that feel more aligned with who I am now. Okay. And which feeds into also, we all do this a lot. We get attached to who we were in the past. Yes. And we kind of drag those things along with us instead of saying like, is this still true for me?
Is this still me?
Today?
Yeah.
So that's been a part of it. My eating, like how I eat and what I eat, when I eat. I've looked at all of that. To adjust for who I am today and who I'm becoming, which is the other piece. Is sometimes we're so attached to the past and who we've been, and then we get into here. And what I've really also been focused on is, who is this person I'm stepping into, and what does she do, and what does she want, so I can kind of pull myself forward.
Well, okay, so that if we think about this from the perspective, because that's what I was doing in my brain, from the 6-pointed, the 5-pointed star, which is the model that I use for alignment. Yes. Right. The center of the star is that personality piece, wealth dynamics, strengths finder, like knowing who we are. The top of the star is that North Star purpose. So we're going to get back to that. But the 2 legs we were talking about is self-care. And values, like aligning with your values. Like, for example, that woman that you said, you were helping her to align to her values. Right? The woman that was doing the telesummit. Right. So you've aligned your business now with your values. What's another way? Can you think of another way you've done that?
For sure. The clients that I take on, it's really important to me that I want to amplify their voices. Yeah. And so someone could have the, great amount of money, like I'll pay you double, and if it's not something it's not a voice that I want to amplify in the world, or that I think will serve the higher purpose of transformation on the planet, then I won't take them on as a client.
There you go. That's powerful. That's really powerful. Okay, and so that's the 2 lower legs. Now you just mentioned the future vision, so we'll come back to that. But another big area of alignment is North Star purpose, and you kind of briefly touched on it. Like, in what ways have you brought your life and your business into more alignment with your purpose on this planet, your higher purpose?
Purpose is such an interesting journey, right? And the North Star, and you've known me for so many years. In some ways, I've been kind of seeking, what's my North Star? What's my North Star? And I think there was a part of me in the past that thought there had to be this one thing that you're always going after the whole time, and it just, like, what is the forever? And what I'm realizing for me is that there's an evolution with that too. Yeah. And sometimes I'm driven and going towards this, and a lot of the summit work with amplification of other voices and helping people to step up and find their voice. And what I'm realizing now is it's adjusting for me. It's changing. And so I think part of this whole process is being really attuned to where you're at now and how things can can evolve on any of those points.
Right.
And allowing that evolution.
Yes, not freezing ourselves. Yes. We'll get into that more. Yeah. We'll go deeper into that. But the last thing I want to say is what I see, though, is that your current thing that we're going to talk about soon is actually very much still about amplifying voices and helping people step into their authentic expression.
You're so right.
Actually. So
it is. Thank you.
I'm excited to go there.
She picks all this stuff up.
Yeah. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate your sharing that with us, and I appreciate you being my client for all these years. It's been a really fun journey.
It's been fantastic, and I'm happy to be here. Many more years.
And if you are interested in working with me, just like Leanne has, and you want to talk about my programs, my offerings, my services, we can have a conversation and see if it's a right fit. And the way to do that is you go to superstaractivator.com/go. And that will walk you through a process to identify if we might be a right fit. And if we might, then it'll send you right to my calendar so you can book some time with me. What kind of work did you have to do in the context of alignment with your past and with your stories and your belief systems? Was there any transformation involved?
There's been a lot, and it continues. And this is one thing that I have now embraced. You know, I think there was a part of me before that it was like, well, if
I already did this work.
Right, it's healed. It's healed already. Let's just be done with it. And it's like, it's an onion, literally. You know, you heal a little outer, and then there's a little more, and then there's a little more. You go a little deeper.
Yeah. You
know, as we evolve as humans and as our relationships evolve, so too do our wounds and our past also evolve.
Yeah.